Hey y'all, welcome to my channel or welcome back. I am MiyaJha, and as y'all can see by the title below, in this video I'm going to do 20 things that I learned in my 20s. I have just been doing a little bit of self-reflection and just thinking about things. And I just wanted to come here and share some of the lessons I learned with somebody else who could, may or may not come across this video at whatever time, and maybe it'll be helpful to you and, trusting your process and your path as well. So I'm going to hop right into it. I do have my little notebook here that I wrote all my, my responses down into. So I'm just going to read it from here and go into it a little bit more. So first, of the 20 things that I learned in my 20s is if you say yes to something that you don't want, ultimately you're saying no to something that you do want. So what I mean by this is sometimes it's about making space in your life. You have to make space for the things that you want, whether it's that person, that job, that, I don't know, that experience. But by you choosing to do something else other than that, by you going after something else other than that, especially if it doesn't fulfill you or bring you any kind of joy, ultimately you're saying no to the thing that you do want. And then ultimately, you're losing time being able to get that thing done. So, oh, and also with that one, I got the question here, settle for what? Why are you settling? Maybe that's a question that you need to ask yourself, or what are you settling for, or what areas in your life are you settling? And what decisions do you choose to make going forward from there? So number 2, it says nobody can make the choice for you. You have to do it for yourself. Otherwise, living in fear is going to keep you stuck. And when I say fear is going to keep you stuck, it's going to keep you stuck feeling how you feel right now, or being in the position, in a situation, in the relationship, in the job, whatever that is, it's going to keep you in this situation because you're afraid to make a move. So living in fear is only going to keep you stuck. So if you're not where you're supposed to be or not who you're supposed to be with, sometimes you just got to make that choice to move forward from that. You have to move out of fear on what you feel like you could be lacking in, or what you're going to miss out on, or whatever the case, by holding on to this thing. Because sometimes those things that, you hold on to the most that hurt you, it hurts you more trying to hold on to that thing than actually letting it go. And of course you won't know that until you step into that season where you're ready to let go of something. So that's something to keep in mind. Sorry y'all, I have a little bit of a cold still, so my voice is a little weird too. So number 3, nothing in life is guaranteed, okay? No matter how much, this is something I had to learn like the hard way multiple times, over and over. No matter how much you plan for something, no matter how much detail you put into something, no matter how much time you put into something, it's not guaranteed that it's going to work out. Things change, plans change, people change, just all those things. Sometimes there are just things going on that are out of our control that, we have no choice but to surrender to, whether we want to or not. But not always, when we put in effort for something or we do something, are we going to get the outcome that we expect from that particular place or situation. And that's okay too, y'all. Something you need to know from that is, maybe that thing isn't for you, or that person, or that situation, or whatever the case, or something, or, there's something better for you. I like to think that, if something isn't working out for you, or, whatever the case, it's because something better is. Excuse me. All right, so number 4 is there will be a lot of ups and downs in life. But I also want you to remember with that in mind that no matter how bad the lows get or how down you get, whatever the case, just know that you're always going to get back up. There's always going to be room to get back up. There'll be lessons learned, just all the things, but you'll always get back up. There's something to keep in mind because, life can be hard sometimes. And a lot of times people don't talk about those things. It's like, especially if you get on social media or whatever the case, it looks like everything is all good, or you see like background and aesthetics and all that. you think everything is just, you know, just peachy, nothing's going wrong in the world, but nobody shows, you know, all their failures or talks about them or whatever the case. But just know that that's a part of the process, that's part of life as well, and that's okay. So no matter how far you fall down, there's room to get back up and keep going, okay? But number 5 says, if you wait for things to happen in the order that you want them to, you might end up missing out on some incredible opportunities. So when I say this, I remember there was a time I wanted to, you know, try some kind of modeling situation for plus size models. And I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do it, because by the time that, you know, it's time for the campaign to start, or, you know, whatever the case, I'm going to lose this weight, because I've been trying to lose weight forever, y'all. And here I am still, you know, whatever. But at the same time, it's like I robbed myself of, you know, experiencing that, having that experience, or the potential to have that experience, because I chose not to go for it. As I'm waiting, you know, I'm expecting something else to be different in life. And that's not me telling you not to expect things, not expect good things to happen to you, but this is more so just to tell you not to hold back on yourself, or, you know, wait until you get that thing done, wait till you have this kind of level of success, or wait until, you know, this particular thing happened for you to live your life and treat yourself and enjoy life more. Like, what's wrong with doing it now? What's wrong with taking that step today? You don't know what tomorrow looks like. So it's about, you know, making that choice for, you know, what you want to experience in the now and not later on. So yeah, number 6 is college is not for everybody, y'all. I learned the hard way. I went to undergrad, I went to grad school. I didn't even finish grad school, to be honest. But if y'all seen my last video, or it may not be my last video, I actually did a video, like it might be the last or within the last 2 videos of, you know, college is not for everybody. And I had to learn that the hard way. And I think it's very important for you to explore your options and see what's out there for you, and for you to nurture the gifts that you have, because school is not for everybody. Being engaged in that kind of way is not for everybody, and that is okay. So number 7 is nobody has all the answers. Y'all, it can't get any realer than this. So many times have I gone to other people hoping to hear, you know, the right answer, or for somebody to give me the choice that I'm supposed to make, because I don't want to move out of fear. I want somebody else to make the choice for me, or whatever the case. Or, you know, or there's been times where, I don't know about y'all, I know this isn't for everybody, but even when it comes to like tarot readers and stuff, I'm into tarot readers and all that. I believe in them. I don't believe in all of them. I know there's some fake people out there, but there's some people who I really feel are gifted, especially with encounters and experiences that I had. And I've also done my own readings and whatever the case as well. So even all that even with all that in mind, or even for any of you who are religious, or, you know, you follow a particular, you know, I don't know, religious background, if you follow that, or any kind of, you know, biblical sense, or whatever the case, nobody has all the answers. It's like, you can, you know, there's been so many times where I go searching for answers, you know, from, you know, religion or tarot readers, or even people outside myself, or the people who I surround me by, and nobody has the answers. Nobody has all the answers. Nobody knows, nobody experiences the same thing that you do, or, you know, whatever the case. And that's okay. In times like that, I know it's hard, but you really just have to, you know, surrender and, you know, find the answers within you. Sometimes it'll hit you when you least expect it. So, yeah, that's just something to know, because it's like we want all the answers. We want to know what the future looks like. We want to know what we're supposed to do, the moves we're supposed to make, and it's just not part of the process. So it's very limited on what you can know and will know ahead of time. So sometimes your steps are just ordered. So that's something. Is number 8. It says your dreams may change over time, and that is okay. So there have been so many, like, when I think of dreams right now for myself, is my biggest thing has been, you know, the focus on a career and finances and, you know, all those things. And, you know, my whole life I dreamed of, you know, being fabulous and, you know, maybe even being a model or a fashion designer. And then I wanted to do interior design. And then I wanted to, I wanted to be a nurse, and I wanted to do this, and I wanted to do that. And, all these things. And that's totally okay. And it's great for you to explore those things as well. But just know that it's okay if your dreams do change, or your vision changes when it comes to your dreams. Sometimes those might be even footsteps to where you're going. So that's something just to keep in mind. But yeah, your dreams may change, and that's okay. Number 9 is you may revisit old dreams. So, like I said, with number 8, your dreams may change over time, but sometimes you might find yourself, coming back to something, and you have this renewed sense of mind when it comes to something, or you have more ideas about something, or you see how something that you're doing now ties into something that you used to do before, and you could do all the things. So that's something definitely to keep in mind as well. So I think it's just part of the bigger picture. It's just like the little puzzle pieces that you get over time. So it's okay to revisit those dreams as well. And it's also okay to give things another try. Number 10 is some people are meant to be left in your past, because not everyone is meant to be a part of your present or your future. Y'all, this has been a hard lesson for me. I've had to let go of some people in my life, had to leave some things behind, some people behind, because they were keeping me stuck or, stagnant in a place that I didn't want to be, or feeling how I didn't want to feel anymore. Just, I just wasn't that person anymore. And, they like to stick to, a certain lifestyle or a certain way of being. And, that's okay. That's part of their growth, part of their journey. But you just need to know that not everybody is going to always be a part of your life. Some people are meant to be in your life for a season, or they have a different purpose in your life for an old season, or, whatever the case. However that pans out in your life, just know that that is okay. And as you're making, you're leaving the past behind, you're making room for the new, for your future, all the things. So that's something to keep in mind here. So number 11 kind of ties into that one as well, but it still stands alone on its own. And it is be the change that you seek. So when I say be the change that you seek, like I said earlier in the video, nobody's going to make that choice for you. Sometimes when you want something done, you have to be the one to get it done. Oh, excuse me. Especially when it comes to your own growth and, your own, whatever kind of changes you're trying to make in your life, or especially if it's something for the better, because not everybody's going to understand. Not everybody has the same vision as you. Not even everybody has the same motivations as you. And then like I said, there's just certain things that nobody can do for you. That's a choice that you have to make for yourself. So you just have to be the change that you seek, even when it comes to letting go of people from your past, or, past situations, just all of those things. For those who want to stay, they want to keep things the same or keep things how they are, whatever the case, they're not going to make that change. They're going to stay in that constant loop. But if you want to get out of that loop, you have to be the one to make that next step. You have to, keep that thing in mind where it's like insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. So sometimes you have to do something different to yield new results. And that is okay as well. Number 12, it says your interests will change and so will your mind. And that is okay. And all of this is a part of your growth. So, like I said, you might be into, different things. Some people might want to hold you to who you used to be, or the things you used to do, the things that you used to be okay with. And, if, like I said, if somebody wants to stay stuck, a certain way, they want to live a certain way, they want to be a certain way, just all the things, allow them. But, you don't have to keep yourself stuck in a situation or whatever the case to, stay where they are or keep doing that same thing. And if something just doesn't resonate with you anymore, you don't do those things anymore, you're not into those kind of things anymore, just whatever the case, however that resonates with you, just know that that's okay. As you're growing, your mind is, you're constant, especially as you're doing like self growth, and you're investing in yourself in that way, investing in your growth and investing in your knowledge, even in just different things. It doesn't have to be anything specific or school related or any of those things. But as you gain new knowledge, you think differently, you move differently, you feel differently, you might be interested in different things. So that is okay. It's all part of the growth process, and it's getting you where you're going. All right. So number 13 is there is no certain age to have it all together, y'all. This kind of ties into what I was saying earlier about having these plans about your future or even your dreams, just all the things. We as humans, we tend to, assign a time frame, and when we'll have this thing, or when we'll accomplish this thing, or have all these things. And sometimes life just doesn't go in that direction. It could be the complete opposite, or it could go backwards, or it could just go in a totally different order than how we expect things to happen. And people are being successful in their life, and in different ways and in different areas of their life. And I feel like, again, social media contributes to so much of this, because we get on here and we see, these young millionaires, or, people doing this and doing that, or somebody having their glow up, or somebody, blowing up on the internet, or whatever the case. And it puts us in a place where we're like, well, why am I not where I need to be yet? Why do I not have these things yet? These are my dreams as well. Or I have, similar, dreams or ideas about how my life should be, my future, just all those things. And then there are people who are older. I've seen people younger than me feel that way. I felt that way so many parts of my life at different ages, even now sometimes. And then there are people who are older than me, who experience that as well. So your time and your season is going to be all your own. So don't compare it to nobody else's, or when yours will come. If it's meant to be, it will be. And then, like I said, there's some things that are just out of our control. So sometimes you have to roll with the flow, but also be the change that you seek. So whatever you do have control over, when you can make a change, do that. Be that change. All right. Number 14 is success looks different on everyone, but also their failures looks different as well, or their struggles, so to say. So when I say that, like, again, when we look at other people, sometimes you can look at somebody because they have things, or, whatever the case, and you just like, they must have it all together, or what's wrong with me that I don't have those things and they do, or, what am I doing wrong? What should I be doing different? Everybody's success is different. People are going to get success in different areas of their life, and then other people's ideas of success are also different. Like for one, you might think of success when it comes to career and finances, and then somebody else might think, well, success is, when some kind of freedoms, or, having certain things, or reaching a certain level in society, or whatever the case. So success just looks different on everybody's. And also, when I say struggle looks different on everybody, you can't just look at somebody and see, oh, they have these things, or, they look a certain way. They must have money, or they must be doing these things, or they must live this kind of lifestyle. That's not always the case. Sometimes people do things for themselves. Like for me, I think you're going to learn that quickly as I continue doing whatever I do on this channel, whenever I do it. But, I've had people look at me and think, oh, she must have money. I had that people thought that in high school, or, people see, they see this outside appearance, or even how you carry yourself, or the type of people that you're around. And that doesn't necessarily define who you are or what you have. So, and there are rich people out there who you might, pass on the corner, and you might think they're, you might think they might not have a whole lot of money, or you might think they're homeless, or whatever the case. So don't let the illusion fool you. Success and struggle just looks different on everybody, and people, you don't have to look like your struggle, or you don't have to, show your success through having things, or, whatever the case. So that's something somebody needs to know. I don't know. Number 15. It is never too late. And when I say that, it's never too late to give something a try, or do that thing that you always wanted to do, that you just have yet to get around to, or you have yet to get, take a chance on, or go after that thing. You just keep putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. It's not going to happen until you make it happen. Okay. So for me, one great example I can say for me is I finally put pink hair in my head. For a long time, my whole life, if y'all can't tell, pink is my favorite color. Has always been, probably always will be. But I tried all kinds of color, and I used to be so scared of, color. And then one day I tried it, and I've tried all these different colors over the years on my hair, and finally now, like right before I turn 30, I'm like, I'm gonna put pink in my hair because I haven't done pink yet. I'm about to be 30 and it's something I always wanted to do and have yet to do. So that's something I got to check off recently because, you know, I took that step. If I wouldn't have did it, either the time could have passed and I would have never done it, or, you know, I don't know, because the future is not guaranteed to none of us. So, you know, sometimes I have to live in the right now. So that's one of the things I did. But another thing, like, maybe you wanted to try, you know, go back to school, or maybe you wanted to, you know, take some kind of art class or something, or maybe you wanted to, you know, travel here, or whatever the case. Sometimes you just got to go ahead and make it happen. Go ahead and start planning for it. You don't have to have it all together now or know all the details or anything, but just getting started is going to take you somewhere. It's going to get the ball rolling. And you're also never too old to do something either. I've actually met people when I was in undergrad as well as grad school, people who were, you know, like a older age or older than, you know, most of the other students, because you expect like students to be like younger and, you know, I don't know, just kind of, you know, figuring life out and having these bushy tails and bright eyes, you know, whatever. But I met 40, 50, 60-year-olds going back to school. It's never too late to, you know, do your thing or go after that dream you have. Long as you have time and long as you're here today, it's okay to take that step. It's okay to go do that thing. Number 16, doing something by yourself is not so scary. So for me, I used to be so afraid of going out by myself, whether they could be going out to have dinner by myself, going to the movies by myself. I remember even once upon a time going to the mall by myself was like such a scary thing. And that ended up being like one of the first things I did by myself was go to the mall. But, you know, over time, you know, I recently, you know, last year I went through like a breakup, like toward the end of the year, like just a little bit before Valentine's Day. And guess what? Normally I probably would have stayed at home because I didn't have a date for Valentine's Day. But instead I took myself out for brunch on Valentine's Day, and I even dressed up and everything, and I wasn't afraid, and I did it. I've gone to the movies by myself so many times, just all kinds of things, and it's not so scary. It's actually quite empowering. I'll say that it is quite empowering being able to do something by yourself and not waiting until you have that somebody or you know to show off or to, you know, to do something with for you to be able to enjoy doing the things that you want to enjoy. You shouldn't have to wait, you know. Enjoy those things now. And it's actually, it's a lot better doing it by yourself sometimes too, because you're not having to compromise with the energies and ideas of others when you're doing something by yourself, because you're able to do it just for you. So that's something that can be very enlightening and very empowering. So I advise you to do it. Number 17, it says, don't feel pressured to dim your light to make others comfortable or to appease them. Not everybody is going to like you, and that is okay. So you don't have to change who you are or change anything about yourself, even if it feels subtle. Like something specific I could come up with is, you know, I've had boyfriends in the past, like they either met me wearing makeup or, you know, I had one, you know, more recent where he technically didn't meet me wearing makeup, but you know, they would say, I prefer, you know, you not to wear makeup. I prefer you do this, do that. You know, I would dim my light, and you know, why do that? Because when I wear my makeup, it's not for you, it's for me. And then I found that, you know, none of these people are in my life. And, you know, I decided to make those subtle changes about myself, even if it, you know, didn't seem like a big deal. I found myself overthinking some things that I would normally do or what I would want to do, but not wanting to, you know, offend somebody or, you know, make somebody feel some type of way, or for them to like me any less or whatever, for carrying my own light. You don't have to change yourself for somebody. If they're meant to be in your life, they will be. And if they're not, then, you know, deuces. You know, it is what it is. Number 18, love may or may not look like what you expect it to be. And either way, you're going to learn a lesson, whether it's the easy way or the hard way. That's all I have to say about that one, okay? Number 19, life is full of lessons. And as long as you are here, you will learn both pleasant and unpleasant lessons from different experiences. And number 20, and our last one for today, last but not least, is you can look forward to getting older. Y'all, I am turning 30 in less than 30 days now. And, you know, for a great bit of my life, I'm like, oh, I'm getting older, you know. And I felt that pressure of, you know, things are not happening on the timeline that I want them to, or, you know, whatever the case. And then we, you know, even in society, we fear, you know, getting older. But, you know, from what I've heard, 30 is something to look forward to. Things start getting better at 30. Things become clearer at 30. I'm allowing myself to be open to experience whatever kind of magic the number 30 is just going to bring in for me. And I'm hoping I can just feel those effects now. But either way, it's something to look forward to. We shouldn't fear getting older. You know, as my grandma would say all the time, like the alternative is worse. Like, you could either, you know, be here and get older and keep experiencing life, or, you know, like I said, life isn't promised to anybody. Tomorrow isn't promised. So, you know, the alternative, I'd rather live than, you know, it all end before I get to experience life to the extent that I want to experience it. So anyways, I hope y'all got, you know, some good tips on this video. I hope some of the life lessons that I learned in my 20s will be helpful for somebody a lot younger than me, or, you know, you're in your 20s and you're still trying to figure it out, or you could be in your, you know, your late teens, or, you know, whatever the case. I hope that you learned something from this, and, you know, it gives you some kind of wisdom to move forward in your life. And, you know, don't be like me, be better than me, okay? So until next time, y'all, bye.